Here are 10 historic events that happened that you probably never heard on the news. Number 1, a Brazilian priest tried to tie 1,000 balloons to himself to fly and raise money, but ended up never being seen again. On April 20th, 2008, Father Edir Antonio de Carril set out from the Brazilian port city of Panaguara with the hope of breaking record for the longest time spent in the air attached to a helium balloon. The Roman Catholic priest's motivations for the stunt was to fundraise for a spiritual rest stop for truckers at his local parish. For the challenge, the priest wore a sturdy helmet, an aluminum thermal flight suit, and a waterproof coverall to protect him from the elements. Additionally, he carried with him a GPS tracker and a radio, which he could use to inform air traffic control of his precise location should he need help. With ample food provisions at his disposal, he was well equipped to endure the journey ahead. It's noteworthy that DeCarli was no novice to this venture. Being a seasoned skydiver, he had previously attempted a similar feat on January of the same year, using 600 balloons to soar 4 hours and climb to an altitude of 7,390 feet. Unfortunately, this would be the last time that anyone saw him. Shortly after the flight took off, he lost communications with ground control, and 2 days later, multicolored balloons were found in the ocean. Several months later, his remains were found on the beach. Number 2, Robert Overbacher. In 1995, Robert Overbacher, a 39-year-old resident of Camarillo, California, had a noble goal in mind. He wanted to raise awareness and help fight for the lives of homeless people in the United States. He devised a plan to achieve this by attempting a courageous stunt that would see him fly over the edge of Niagara Falls in a very unconventional way. Robert was a graduate of California Stunt School, so he's well versed in his craft and was expected that the stunt would be executed flawlessly, but his friends didn't share his confidence. In fact, Overbacher had traveled to the falls twice before to attempt the stunt, but on both occasions, friends had talked him out of it. But after 7 years of planning and 2 failed trips, Overbacher finally made the decision to go through with his crazy stunt on October 1st, 1995. Robert equipped himself with a life preserver that said "Save the Homeless" and a parachute. His intent was to let go of the motorized ski as it went over the edge, deployed the chute, and float down to the water. But unfortunately, things wouldn't go so smoothly. He powered his motorized jet ski into the water and began going towards the edge of the waterfall. This was around the time when normally Overbacher was supposed to let go of the jet ski and fly off, deploying his parachute, but neither one of those things happened. His parachute never deployed, leaving him plunging over 180 feet to the water below, in front of 2,000 to 3,000 spectators, most of them just coming to visit Niagara Falls. Serial killer Bela Kiss had a gruesome habit of pickling his victims in barrels stored in his basement. Authorities discovered his crimes, but by then he was fighting in World War I. When they finally tracked him down and went to arrest him, he vanished, leaving a dead body in his hospital bed. Rumors suggest that he joined the French Foreign Legion, or there was one possible sighting of a janitor in New York that looked just like him. No one knows how many people he killed. No one also knows when he died. In 2011, 46-year-old Mark Bradford, a British man, was charged with assaulting a 13-year-old boy after the teen taunted him for killing his character in Call of Duty Black Ops. In 2016, Edgar Latulp, missing since 1986, was found alive 80 miles from where he vanished in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Suffering from memory loss due to his head injury, he had lived under a different name, unaware that his family was still out there looking for him. On May 26, 1990, Marlene Warren opened her Florida door to a clown holding balloons and flowers, only to be shot directly in the face. It took 27 years for authorities to arrest Sheila Keene, who had since married Warren's widow. In 1950, conjoined twins Masha and Dasha Kryslopova were taken from their mother at birth by Soviet psychologists for research purposes. Their mother was falsely informed that the twins had died shortly after her delivery. In 2016, Muhammad Robinson was tragically shot after failing to hold the door open for a woman at McDonald's. Witnesses reported that the woman became angry when Robinson did not hold the door as she entered while she was exiting. She then informed a man accompanying her about the incident, which led to him shooting Robinson as he returned to work from his lunch break. In 2006, Susan Kuhnhausen's estranged husband hired a hitman for $50,000 to kill her with a hammer and make it look like a botched robbery. However, when the assailant arrived and attacked her, Susan fought back and ultimately strangled him to death. In 1972, Vesna Volnik earned the Guinness World Record for surviving the greatest fall without a parachute. She fell from 33,330 feet. Her survival stemmed from a tragic event on January 26, 1972, when a briefcase bomb exploded in the baggage compartment of the flight she was on, making her the sole survivor among the 28 people on board, with 27 tragically losing their lives. In 2009, Jonathan Campos, an American sailor charged with murder, killed himself at Camp Pendleton, San Diego, California, by stuffing toilet paper down his throat until he choked to death. Shocking audio captures Christine Rawl arguing with her husband Ian over the sale of their land, just moments before she stabs him to death.
You don't drink.
You do. You're an alcoholic. Ask your kids.
I've had my blood.
Ask when he was here at Christmas about when you invited around and then you passed out because you were drunk.
What are you talking about? He works as a council foreman. That's hardly a brain surgeon, is it? Who do you think he...
This is a short episode for today. I'm your host, Anthony Modesto Milian. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys learned something new today. Take care, gal.